Hey guys, my name is Brett Linkletter. I'm the CEO here at Dineline. And if you're a restaurant owner who's looking to grow your business this year and you're kind of stuck, I think this story is really going to resonate with you. So let's dive into it. A couple weeks ago, won't say the name, but I spoke to a brand doing about $5 million a year on one store. They've also been in business for about 100 years. They're doing about another 1.5 million through a number of food trucks that they have and events that they do. So impressive business to say the least, okay? So I asked, what they're here for. What are they wanting to speak to us about? How can we help? What are some of the challenges that this brand might be dealing with? And they basically told me that butts and seats are down. And they say sales overall are up in some other areas, but overall store visits are down, right? So obviously, I started asking about what they're doing on the marketing side. I said, what are you doing to bring in new guests? What are you doing to attract new customers into your business on a regular basis? And it came down to two factors. Number one, billboards. Number two, radio ads. And naturally, I kind of laughed because, I'm a digital marketer, and I think if you're doing billboards and radio, it's not something I'd recommend typically. I said, okay, and how do we know this is actually helping you get guests in store? And these guys jump in, they say, we're not totally sure. I said, well, okay. So, and then I paused and said, well, okay. And he goes, well, but we have to assume it's working. I said, well, what do you mean you have to assume it's working? He said, because sales. I said, okay. I thought you just said butts and seats were down. He goes, yep, but sales are up. And I said, well, aren't we here because butts and seats are down? He goes, yeah, okay, no, you're right. I said, got it, okay, cool. And so then I said, what are you guys spending on this, by the way? We're spending about $90,000 a year on billboards and radio. And so I then go to ask, so guys, just to be clear, we're spending $90,000 a year on a strategy which isn't necessarily helping us accomplish at all the goal, which is more butts and seats. And the room went silent. And the owner starts speaking up all of a sudden, asking questions. What's going on, guys? I wasn't aware of this. Now, in this case, this marketer or advertiser doing the radio and billboard was so certain his strategies were working. I was probably the first guy to ever tell him it wasn't working. And he probably only realized in this moment it wasn't working. I mean, I told them this, look guys, they're spending $90,000 on billboards and radio, and they're spending about, I think it was like a couple $100 on like a boosted post on Facebook or Instagram. I told them straight up, that's just irresponsible. What I'm explaining here today is an extremely common problem I see in the industry. Tons of brands spending tons of money on old school strategies that don't allow you to actually see if it's actually getting you an ROI. And this is kind of what happens on every single sales call with us, by the way, guys. We take owners through this realization of understanding that what they're spending isn't just not trackable to getting new guests in the store, but honestly, it's a ton of money that could be wasted and saved for them also. Because here's what you really want. You want a system that when you spend money, you can see it's producing guests. So for example, if I ran an ad and I don't know, there's like 5 different ads I ran, for example, and I see one of the 5 ads really worked. And when I say it worked, means it actually got someone to walk through the client's doors. Now, I know this might sound like difficult to understand, but the way we do it as a company is we can track someone's cell phone location when they walk through the client's doors. We then can even track someone's credit card swipe at the point of sale. So we're not tracking things like impressions and views and click rates and all that kind of stuff. We're actually looking for acquisition. And this is really what makes us different as a company. We're able to track an actual guest sitting at your table paying their bill versus, hey, John, we just got a bunch of views online, which is what's happening with this client and what's happening with tons of other brands we speak to on a regular basis. Anyway, guys, hope this was valuable. Again, click the link below this video if you want to learn more and book a call. And anyway, we'll chat with you soon. Cheers.